a compadre of mine who is there for all 253 picks of the draft on coverage on the NFL Network. Also the host of the Move the Sticks podcast at the Move the Sticks on Twitter. Daniel Jeremiah, good to see you, sir.
How you doing, Rich? Good to see you.
How are you? Yeah, I mean, you and I were kind of chuckling because when the Laramie Tunsil stuff was happening, did somebody send you the video? Did it light up on your phone?
Oh, yeah,
it
lit up. But, you know, I was on that second set, and we never know when you guys are going to end up coming out to us. So last thing I want to do is have the audio of this video. I can see the picture of it. I was scared to push play because am I going to be able to turn this thing off in time in case they come out to me?
Right.
The picture did not look good, and I could kind of imagine what the video
Well, when I saw it, I thought to myself, okay, I'm waiting for the gas mask to come off so I could see, is it Tunsil?
Yeah.
And then 15 seconds in, I'm like, I don't care if it's Tunsil. Whoever's under that gas mask, please take it off, because how in the hell are you staying in that gas mask with all that smoke in there for that long?
Yeah.
And he took it off, and I saw all that. Yeah. And then my thought was like, hosting, how do I express this to a viewing audience that is wide and definitely more expanded than the usual NFL Network audience?
Yeah, no question.
And then Ian Rappaport went full Pineapple
Express.
He just
jumped right in.
I mean, he just went in there.
He just jumped all the way in.
So post-draft, is that the most bizarre instance of a red flag being raised about a kid at the very moment the draft is happening that you've ever seen as a scout and as an analyst?
I've never seen anything even remotely close to that. I mean, we've had you know, okay, find out a kid getting arrested 24, 48 hours before the draft, or, you know, gets a DUI or gets caught with some pot, but not the images of this. And literally, as the draft's kicking off, this is unfolding right in front of us.
And Lyle Collins was similar to it last year, where there was a story about how he was involved in a homicide that turned out to be he wasn't, or
but that was like a full 24, wasn't that like a full 24?
It wasn't 10 minutes before.
Yeah. This is just, it's real time happening.
And in your time in the Ravens organization, do you believe that they took him off the draft board? Because John Harbaugh on Saturday kind of, you know, sidestepped or danced around the subject, saying that, in a way, that he was available for them to pick sixth overall. I would
imagine, this is just my opinion, so this is not steeped on anything anybody's told me, but you have your draft board set up. If you have the same grades on players, you can put them side by side on the board. So I'm guessing side by side, Tunsil I think, is a better football player, so all things are clean, they probably take Tunsil. They didn't take him off the board. They just took the guy directly to his right, same grade with a Ronnie Stanley. That's kind of how I vision something like that playing out.
Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. So I know we're not really a draft grade organization, or certainly this show is not.
They're the worst, by the way.
Because you can't really give out draft grades until 4 or 5 years later. Correct?
Yeah, but people love them. People eat them up. And the Jags, you see, they tweeted out. They got all A's. And so they tweeted out, hey, Mom, you know, what am we going to get for our report card this year? And they showed all the A's that they got. So
I saw that. Because I guess we in news organizations are trying to figure out how we can distill in real time right away what we've just witnessed to a fan to try and let them know what we think of the draft. But the thing I love about our coverage, we take the cue from you and Charles and Mike Mayock, is that we're just talking about what the kid has done, what the kid might be able to do at the next level, and how it fits into the organization that just drafted them. And then we'll just see how it all plays out.
And then we get to watch it.
So which one, though, do you like? Fit, player, out of the 253? Is there one that stands out to you?
Oh, man, there were so many. I'll tell you what was underrated. I thought the Colts, because for so long we have harped on them. You've got to do something to protect your quarterback. You've got to do something. They draft 4 offensive linemen. Ryan Kelly, who I thought was by far the best
center.
Interior offensive lineman from Alabama, he can kind of be his Jeff Saturday, and you watch these two guys kind of grow up together. So the center is not sexy, but I thought they attacked the need in this draft in a major way.
What about a quarterback? Which one do you like as a good fit and a good spot where it's picked? And I'm even throwing Goff and Wentz into this equation.
No, I mean, I think both those kids are going to be successful. I was a Wentz guy over Goff. I think Wentz, if they can get just a couple games out of whoever, if it's Sam Bradford wants to play, if not, then maybe give Chase Daniel a couple games. I don't think he's going to need half of a season before he's ready to go in there. But if you can just let him watch 2-3 games from the sideline and then put Wentz in, I think he's going to be fine.
What about Paxton Lynch, though?
I think that's a redshirt situation.
Jerry has been very open about saying we really wanted to trade in to that round. Although, had they traded into that round, would they have been able to pick Jalen Smith, or they were offering? That
would have cost them that pick.
They would have cost them that pick. They wouldn't have Jalen Smith.
No. But I mean, to me, it was just kind of interesting that Jerry, I think everybody knows he loves that juice the excitement. And he got some of that. He got a taste of it with Ezekiel Elliott because that was the fun name.
Sure did.
Jalen Ramsey, we thought, okay, maybe he goes that way. But he goes and gets the fun guy. So now it's like, okay, he got a little taste of that going, let's have some more of this. Let's go back in and get the quarterback.
What about Lynch? Where do you think his fit is? I think
he's a great fit for the system, Rich. I just think he's going to need time just to develop. And I think he's even said as much. You know, he redshirted at Memphis, and that gave him time to acclimate and adjust. And, you know, hopefully Mark Sanchez, you know, cross your fingers and toes, can hold on to that job for a while and give him time before he's ready to go.
Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. 844-204-RICH is the number to dial. I just went on a Yankees rant. Richard Justice of MLB.com will be joining us shortly here, and we'll take some of your phone calls as well here on the Rich Eisen Show. Now, choose your next words very carefully.
Okay.
Okay? I give you that right up front. 51st overall, New York Jets select Chris Laws, Christian Hackenberg. I didn't say Penn State. It's Chris Laws because he is like Santa Claus, making a list and checking it twice of all those who are detractors. What negative Nellies about Christian Hackenberg?
Negative Nancy's.
Where are you on the Christian Hackenberg front, Daniel Jeremiah?
I'll tell you what. I think he's a project. Now, whether or not that puts me in pencil or ink on that list,
well, let's keep going then. Let's keep going.
I think I'm going to earn my way. I think I'm going to earn my way to some ink here. I thought it was a little bit early. I think he's definitely going to need some time. I do like the fact they've got some big targets and nice weapons for whoever comes into that situation there. But my thing with Hackenberg is he's just not a naturally accurate quarterback. And Charles Davis, I thought, did a good job of referencing during our coverage, which was you rarely see a guy get more accurate once you go from one level to the next. So to me, he would have been more in that third, fourth round,
where Connor Cook was selected.
In that same area there. But in the Jets, Rich, this is your team. You know, they've kind of gone with this B-level plan of, okay, if you're not going to get that A-level guy, well, they keep using B-level picks, which you can get really good players in the second round. And they've tried it now, second, third round, and they've passed up on some of those players for these quarterbacks. And I just get the feeling not quite good enough. And they've got a bunch of quarterbacks that just aren't quite good enough when I put Hackenberg in that mix.
Law, does he make the list now? Absolutely. Well, he is absolutely on your list.
I like what you said. I think he should sit year one as well, which you complain as a Jets fan why your second rounders sit year one, but we're looking at
no. If they hold on, don't put the words in my mouth here. If they get Ryan Fitzpatrick, I don't have a problem with that. Although, if you get Ryan Fitzpatrick and we've discussed this, Law, on this show, you've got Forte, you've got Marshall, you've got Decker. You're winning now. Yeah. You get Ryan Clady to fill in the spot for DeBrickashaw Ferguson. We're not talking about when Hackenberg's ready. We're talking now. Yeah. That's why you need to get the second-round selection now, who can get on the field now and win. And if I am the New England Patriots, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this is the greatest thing of all time, because the Jets are still grasping at straws right here. So, but the question is let's not be nuanced here, because your list seems to be full of no gray area. Is Daniel Jeremiah on the list or not? Absolutely.
I don't know that you brought it strong enough to fully get on the list, but just because you're here in person,
he's on the list.
Let me add a line that might cement DJ on the list. So DJ's brand new column on NFL.com are 5 head-scratching picks from the 2016 NFL Draft. The third head-scratching pick on that list.
Yes.
Pick number 51 of the second round, Christian Hackenberg.
And this is not a dandruff-related problem we're talking about at all.
And he
you're literally scratching your head.
Short paragraph, and I quote, "I'm not convinced Hackenberg will ever be a starting NFL quarterback."
Oh, those are fighting words, Deej.
Why couldn't you? Now, why are you being all?
Well, I was waiting.
I
tipped Brockman on the way out today, and I got whispered in his ear. I said, "You can just." So I was waiting for him to be the closer. I needed him to be my Mariano Rivera. I was just Andy Pettit, Rich. I was just trying to eat up some innings, and I needed him to come in here and close the door.
Deej, let's talk a little accuracy in college football and where that's gotten. The top 5 most accurate passers in college football history. Colt Brennan. What was his NFL career record?
Let's change the subject and actually talk about this is not how high you are, it's the lower threshold. And you show me the quarterbacks that have been in that lower register that have been successful.
But you watch the tape, you know the scholarship limitations at Penn State. That offensive line really struggled. He didn't have much time. Wide receivers.
I went and saw him play live. I didn't just watch the tape.
You saw the Northwestern game, which was
no
one
bueno.
of the most, we were texting back and forth during that game. It was one of the worst games he could have put on film. But
and how does it how does Northwestern compare to New England?
Yeah.
How does Northwestern compare to Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills? You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. It's 51st overall. So Daniel Jeremiah is on that list. Write it down.
He's on the list.
Okay, he's on Penn.
For sure.
He's in Penn. And Cody Kessler. Let's talk about him quickly.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns are saying, don't sleep on him. Hugh Jackson, I can sit here and say, I can understand Hugh saying, trust me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. But to sit here and say he's going to compete with RG3 right now, do they believe Cody Kessler really can start this year, or is that a shot across the RG3 bow that you don't just come in here and graduate right away?
No, I think they really like Kessler. I mean, I had been told early on in the process, and I told several people that I had heard in the second round, he was in their second round consideration for Cody Kessler, and that caught me off guard. So they didn't do it there. They ended up getting him in the third. But the things that I was told that Hugh Jackson liked about him, they put him on the board, and he's a really, really bright kid. So he can swallow a big playbook. You can give him all the offense you want. He can handle that. And just the interview process, just being around, they like his personality and think he's made of the right stuff. My concern is, having scouted for 2 teams in that division, you need a big physical quarterback to play in that weather against those defenses to survive a season.
Like Big Ben, like Joe Flacco.
The big guys. Now, Andy Dalton's different, but Andy Dalton has a live arm, and Andy Dalton can move and really get away from things. Cody Kessler's not that type of an athlete.
But who knows Andy Dalton?
And when they still haven't won, won a playoff game.
Okay.
There.
All right. Daniel Jeremiah is here on the Rich Eisen Show. When we come back, get more of the NFL draft with him. And for the television audience, on the commercial break, we will review that moment when the Vikings picked not a German, but a gentleman named Beavers. And then the Bears went Dion. Just put it that way. That's
last name TBD.
Yes. Well, we heard it. Daniel Jeremiah still here on the Rich Eisen Show with Richard Justice still to come. And your phone calls, 844-204-RICH. Okay, so when Mike Mayock said, Rich, I'm very much a Beavers guy, during our third day coverage of the NFL draft, I looked right at you. And then you looked right at me.
I held it in during that.
And I looked at Charles Davis, and the 3 of us started laughing.
Yeah.
The 3 of us.
We held it together for a tiny bit.
It also got the if you will, pump got primed by a mention not once but twice of a town that a player was from called Regina in Canada.
Yeah.
And just hearing it from Mayock's mouth. But the thing is that Mayock, he just doesn't sometimes hear what another take of his meaning was. Well, that one he heard because we started laughing.
He said Regina, and he kind of looked at us.
Okay, that one I missed that one.
Yes, he gave us the look.
But when he said, Rich, I'm very much a Beavers guy.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
I don't think.
And the 3 of us started laughing. Then you heard the mic even picked him up going, okay. Then the pick is Dion Bush.
It's over.
Finished.
Yeah, done.
Now, the fact that I couldn't keep it together, do you think that was what? I want to know from your perspective what was happening.
I was done. So
You're finished.
It didn't matter what you done. Individually, I was done. So I give no blame to anybody else.
And Chris Wirtz, our producer, is getting in my ear saying, Rich, help us out here. Yeah. And that's when I'm like, help us out.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're seeing what's happening. You're sitting there in the truck.
This was on, my wife said that her friend is, overseas and saw it in the UK Mail. It was on, a website. I was like, hey, just saw your husband on the UK Mail.
Take a look at the picture, because you remember I took a picture in the commercial break? Yeah. That's you with a tissue. Look at Mayock with the box in front of him. Charles is trying to do work.
Oh, he efforted. Yeah, in a big way.
Now, you got a text?
He did try to save you, Charles Davis.
Well, he did. He's like, well, let's talk about the East-West Shrine.
Yeah, he wanted to jump right in the All-Star
let's talk about another guy.
Yeah, I just got a text from Michael Berger over at NFL Media.
Yep.
He just said, for the record, DJ came over for dinner last night and was wearing the exact same outfit.
Oh.
What a bum.
Are you taking the walk of shame from the Berger household?
Same sweatshirt, Berger. Berger, as a scout, you got to pay attention to the whole thing.
Oh, sweatshirt's not. But I mean, if it's the shirt and the pants.
No, not shirt, not same pants.
No,
not
different
same
pants,
shoes.
different shirt.
Okay.
Shoes are the same.
Stick to Side by Daniel Jeremiah.
All right.
Daniel Jeremiah here in the Rich Eisen Show studio. Is there one pick that you want to get off your chest? That's something you didn't have enough time in the 90 million hours on NFL Network to get something across that you've thought over the last 72 hours about? Daniel Jeremiah?
I think there was a lot of interesting picks. I guess one maybe I didn't totally understand was San Francisco coming back into round 1 for Josh Garnett for a guard out of Stanford. Usually you're trading back up into the first round. You're looking at premier positions, not guard.
Right.
And I thought maybe it was a little bit early for him there. So that was one that just kind of puzzles you. But, I mean, there's always a couple of them like that in every draft. I mean, I think where the running backs ended up going was kind of interesting.
Well, Devontae Booker in Denver
was
a great pick, I thought, especially since it was also skied down by Jake Plummer to be announced.
Which did we get a focus on the mascot, by the way, on that? Because Plummer is skiing like a champ.
Right.
But the mascot is right behind him and just...
Did the mascot
took a
wipe
tumble.
out?
Took a tumble.
Oh, is that right? The mascot had a flag. Well, the mascot was snowboarding down.
Okay, well, he took a dip there at the end. Oh, yeah.
Maybe the mascot was the one who brought the gummies. Could be that. Just throwing it out there. We also noticed prior to your appearance here today, Daniel Jeremiah, you tweeted out one more evaluation because you got to get out of evaluation mode, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're deep in evaluation
hard to break,
mode.
Rich.
It's hard to get out of it. You tweeted out, I noticed, as soon as you arrived here. Do we have that tweet to put up on the screen here for me to read off for our radio audience? At Move the Sticks, great name on Twitter. The English muffin is very underrated.
You know, you're always evaluating, Rich. You're always trying to...
In terms of breakfast breads.
Stacking your breakfast board, and I was at the concierge lounge this morning, staying in a hotel up here, and they have the free continental breakfast, and I just thought, I'm gonna go English muffin today. It's been a long time, and I really enjoyed it.
You sure that wasn't a reach? I mean, don't you think if you've got a croissant on the board?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
a what?
A croissant. Croissant. I don't know. Oh, please, like you're Mr. Diction over there. Let me pool everybody here to try and figure out what everything does. If you got a croissant, and you've got yourself an English muffin.
Yep.
Where do you?
Well, here's the thing. If you're gonna go with like a breakfast sandwich, I would say the croissant or croissant, how we go there. That would make some sense. But to me, I had forgotten about an old gem, which was the English muffin with a little bit of butter and then a little bit of strawberry jam. So it's that extra layer on top of there, and it's the different texture that you get. I just thought I haven't had English muffin in 5 years, and I thought, this is a crime. This food deserved better from me.
Well, it usually takes 5 years to evaluate a draft. So you took 5 years to evaluate your evaluation.
The first thing when I get home, I am going to pick up some English muffins.
So let me ask you this, in all honesty. Do you have already a draft board for 2017?
Oh, no.
Come on now.
I've peeked.
You don't have anything prepared for 2017?
I've peeked at a couple of the big-time guys. So, like, Leonard Fournette is fun.
Okay.
He is really fun.
So you don't have anything, you're not targeting even a special
Over the summer,
class.
I'll try. My goal every summer is to watch 50 guys before the college season starts. So just try and find those top 50 players and watch
When do you start doing that?
Not soon. Yeah, not soon.
So
I'm gonna disappear.
tapping out?
Last night, Rich, I went to sleep, and you know sometimes when you're at a hotel and you wake up and like you haven't disturbed one cover because you're so tired.
Sure.
Nary a hair has been moved.
It is the most physically and mentally demanding thing doing a draft than anything else.
And I'm constantly paranoid
about
that we're going to be in the 4th round, you're fit, whatever, and it's just the pick comes in. Tell us about him, and it's.
You don't know?
No clue.
Well, at least you got some other guys around you. You got a team here.
Yeah, but you're always just sitting there going, what if we all, yeah, that'd be embarrassing.
That's right. Well, that's when Deion Bush comes up on the board and you can go in a completely different direction. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Rich.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.